Know what you want?
I don't know. I'm not really hungry.
Well, then what are we doing here?
You're hungry. Look, being here makes me actually feel, I don't know.
What, like everything's normal?
Yeah.
Look, I think we need to get you away from all this for a while. Let's go catch a chick flick or something.
Am I really that bad? Look, it's hard. I just know my dad. I've had years to analyze him. I know he feels bad about Jake. He's trying to punish himself. The thing that would hurt him the most is being estranged from Lucky. So by all that's holy, he's going to make sure that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, the problem is you can't stop Lucky from causing whatever damage he's going to cause. You just have to be prepared for, what's going to come. Here.
What? What is it?
It's an 800 number for the nearest support meeting for families of alcoholics.
You know, Dad, it doesn't matter what color you're drinking. Scotch, vodka. It's the same drunk.
Okay. There's something I need to clear up with you.
Yeah, what's that?
I know that Jake's memorial service was this morning.
I brought you this since you were unable to attend the service.
I stayed away out of consideration for you and Elizabeth. I didn't think it was right that the man driving the car that killed him should be there sucking up air.
That's a load of crap.
You think pushing me to a meeting is going to help? Then I don't think you understand. My dad is not like Lucky, who's an addict. Alcohol is not the problem.
Okay, look, just hear me out.
No,
okay?
wait. My dad's drinking is the easy and obvious target for Lucky's pain and anger. My dad's going to take that pain and anger because he thinks he deserves it. My family is going to blow apart over a false notion. My dad's not a drunk.
Okay, you keep saying that. You're just going to enable Luke to keep drinking.
You're using 12-step slogans at me? I told you that they don't apply. And even if my dad did have a drinking problem, I wouldn't have to cover for him. He doesn't hide it. He wears his vices proudly.
You want to know why I have that number in my wallet?
Sure.
I had a cousin who was a cop, and he just wasn't cut out for the job. So he started drinking. He hit the bottle, and for a long time, no one knew. He hid it well, until he couldn't hide it anymore. Anyway, what I'm saying is, I tried to cover for him. Because I figured, hey, that could be me. But I realized after a while I wasn't helping him. All I was doing was helping him drink. So I didn't know what to do. So I decided to check out one of these meetings. And sitting there listening to the stories, I mean, it's the same stories, just different faces. I realized what my limitations and boundaries were. And Lulu, you should go. I mean, especially you. It's your father and your brother. They're both addicts, and one is recovering and one is clean.
No, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you have absolutely no clue what you're talking about.
That's disturbing how you're able to rationalize. I mean, it's brilliant when you're doing a con or running a scam or whatever. Luke Spencer, the master of spin. Nobody does it better, right? But we both know the real reason you weren't at Jake's service.
I just told you the real reason.
No, you tried to feed me some line of bull about your concern for me and Elizabeth. Which, I'm sure there was a small percentage of truth in that. That way you can ease your conscience and convince yourself that you're not lying. But Dad, come on. It was all about you. Your guilt, your remorse, You wanted to spare yourself the discomfort of sitting in a church surrounded by people who loved Jake and grieved for him, knowing that his life was cut short because of a choice you made. Did it ever occur to you, Dad, to ask me if maybe I needed you there? Huh? And maybe my day would have been just a little easier if my father was standing in support while I buried my son.
No, I'm afraid it didn't occur to me. You're right, I should have been there. My staying away was an act of cowardice. Cowardice never helps. There's no way to hide from what I've done. I've been going over that night in my mind over and over and over and over, trying to make sense of it, trying to... I know I never saw him, but I thought maybe I could find that moment of impact. That moment when it happened. But there's nothing. How can there be nothing?
It's called a blackout, Dad.
I'm sorry, you really don't need, especially today, to listen to me go through my guilt and self-pity.
It wouldn't be the first time you've come up empty. I mean, you've blacked out in the past.
I did not black out that night, Lucky.
I'm not trying to condemn you, Dad, okay? I know who you are. Who you really are. You're a man of courage and compassion, and I know you're in hell over what you did. I just want to help you. I just want to help you, but I can't until you face the truth. You were drinking that night, and it affected your driving.
I don't want to fight with you. Whatever you need to believe to get you through this is okay by me, but I was not drunk.
Delusion you live under is jaw-dropping. Do you honestly believe you're immune to the effects of alcohol? That somehow Luke Spencer, alone out of the entire global population, can knock back 5 shots without so much as a buzz?
It's called tolerance, Lucky. You build it up over time. I've been working on my tolerance for booze since I was 12.
Blacking out equals effect. Drinking equals cause.
Are you trying to goad me into a fight? It's a waste of time. You should be concentrating on your grief and finding the strength to get through it, not trying to figure out how many drinks it takes for me to get drunk, because I can tell you now, it takes a hell of a lot more than I had that night.
You're gonna stand here and lecture me on avoidance? I'm living my loss, Dad. I'm not running to the bottle. I'm feeling the pain. I'm not escaping into oblivion. And it takes everything I have. Man, I stood there today and buried my son, and I let myself feel every inch of this nightmare, and you're standing here like a zombie, denying that you even have a problem.
I do not have a problem.
God's sake, Dad, what is it gonna take? Honestly, a child died. What else has to happen? How horrible does it have to be before you just admit you're an alcoholic?
I am not an alcoholic!
Stop! You need to be helping each other. as unfair as Jake's death is, it was an accident. Any driver on Lexington could have hit him. He didn't die because Dad was negligent or because he'd had a couple drinks.
Lulu, you're just saying that because it's what you need to believe. Don't you get it? You're in as much denial as Dad is. Well, I'm not. Not anymore. I'm real clear on what happened and why. Jake was killed because our father was drunk.
He's not a drunk. It was an accident. The two of you are in so much pain. You need to be helping each other. You have to let him off the hook and forgive him.
That's easier said than done, sweetheart.
Do you see what's happening? You know him. He feels horrible about his part in Jake's death, and he feels like he doesn't deserve a son in his life if he's taken one out of yours. So he's gonna do whatever it takes to make sure that's what happens. Losing Jake was horrible. I don't want to lose our family.
I would give anything to not have been on the road that night. I would gladly give my life if it would bring Jake back. But it...
I believe you, Dad.
Forgive him.
Look, Dad has to take the first step, okay? He has to take the first step by admitting that alcohol affected his driving the night Jake died.
You're being unreasonable. He wasn't drunk.
Okay, you know what? I can't stay here and listen to the two of you in your fantasy world where knocking back half a bottle of scotch has no effect. Listen to me, Dad. Until you can admit that you have a problem, there's no place for us to start.
I will not lie, and I will not dishonor you or myself by saying something that I don't believe.
Well, that is honorable, Dad.
I love you.